Welcome to your magical moon message. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is the peace dealer. and yeah, moon in Taurus, sun in Aquarius. Things are ready to get even more nefarious. First thing I want to say, which is a very common trend, understandably, since there are a lot of people who, even though they're in adult bodies, have the mind of a child. I would know. I am one of such of those people. I have my mind in Gemini, so I know how to recognize it. But I also have my moon in Capricorn, so I'm a soul older than you. Here's the thing though. A lot of what I say is usually miscribed to be projected as if I consider it bad or good. For example, we are quintessentially headed into the fated 4 years of darkness. This is a concept that I've thrown around since 2018, before anyone knew what would be happening now, or before any of these current events. A lot of what I say gets misconstrued as if I'm looking at it in a 3D perspective. A lot of people still think that I get too political with these videos, or that in funny cases I'm transphobic or homophobic, when the reality is I've been doing this for 8 years. I didn't just pick up an astrology book and decide to just believe I know astrology. I've actually read over 3,000 natal charts. I have over 5,000 orders in my Shopify store. I'm not an amateur by any means. And so, it's very interesting to deal with people who are so quick to misconstrue your very words, because the actual strength of what you do, intimidates them. And one feature of this Uranus in Taurus is championing individual aspects of yourself, if we're talking Uranus here, that go against the traditional norm of society. Saturn in Aquarius is conforming to social expectation. So it's no surprise that those who are adhering to, fringe theorists or conspiracy theories or stuff that is outside the norm of what's considered acceptable is being targeted, is being attacked, is being shamed. It's not even a bad thing. This is the best thing that could happen, because now this is your opportunity to stand for something and not fall for anything. That's literally Taurus in a nutshell. This isn't about what side you're on, because any fence is figurative. It's about what authenticity you're championing. And I hope it doesn't sound that I'm talking down to anybody, or that I'm trying to teach anybody. Everything that I'm saying, you already know to be true. I hope these reports are really more confirmatory to you, because I'm just here to report, messenger style. Other than that, the moon going through Taurus, after you've understood your superpowers, is now getting ready to manifest that understanding of your self-realized character through beginning the knowledge of not only who you are, and not what you have, and not what values you stand on, but what you're ready to embark forward on. Anybody who's looking at these events and wondering, oh, it's over, or oh, this is it, doesn't really even realize we're just beginning. And when I say just beginning, for context, Jupiter and Saturn are in the first decan, Uranus is in the first decan, Mercury just entered Aquarius. It's already skipped through, but it's going retrograde. It's in the shadow period. So I don't think people realize that the tension that has led up to this point has psychologically weared so much of y'all down. You wish this ends. You don't even know this is just beginning, baby. I don't think you even know this is just beginning, baby. We don't even have the Saturn-Uranus conjunction until 2030. So when I say enjoy the show, you really need to enjoy the show, because y'all are emotionally reacting to what you see on TV as if you're a part of it, when it's really just a production. That's why authentic individuals like I and you are going out of our way to stay true and give you our perspective, because it's real. A lot of people want the mainstream to give them real. No, you go to the real for real. You should go to the mainstream to get entertained. It's an entertainment industry. You need to stop going to entertainment industries. Hold on. Because a lot of you agree and believe with the truth and with what I say, but do this same thing. And it's a brainwashing. This is the effects of Operation Mockingbird and propaganda around the world. Study up McCarthyism. Study the propaganda happening in North Korea. This is nothing new. The whole purpose of this great awakening is to awaken your internal locus of control. You have been lied to your whole life, whether through pseudoscience, like postmodern physics, yes, biology, yes, astrophysics, yes, or religion, to give you the impression through materialist reductionism or fanatic religious beliefs that you don't have any control. You don't know the answers. You need to seek outside yourself. What? You actually know who you are? You actually know what's up? You're a weirdo. What? You're not conforming to what other people told us about ourselves because we read it in books and this expert said that, so they know? You're a loser. And I understand some people fall to that peer pressure. But when you remember this is a literal war, you put on the armor of God. Other than that, I'm not proselytizing. I'm not postulating. I'm not sharing opinions. A lot of people are under the impression that I'm here to explain things or break things down, and I'm really just telling you the truth. If you want my credentials, second house Gemini Sun, Saturn Moon Cap. I literally have the spirit of truth, and I can discern it. I have Neptune and Uranus on my moon. I read souls and auras. It's why I'm 5 stars on Google in Vegas, the most reviews. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just going through a 10th house transit, so I have to make you aware of it, so that this whole rhetoric around whether what I say can be trusted can really just die. Dr. Shiva, Saturn in Aquarius, is having to deal with smear campaigns of people questioning whether he invented email. And he invented emails in the Smithsonian. So you feel me? You want to make sure, especially with Neptune and Pisces, you're not necessarily enabling or encouraging misinterpretation of your own self by false presuppositions that you indirectly enable. There's certain things you shouldn't even respond to. And I know I'm not really sorting out a lot of transits, but I'm using myself as an example of how this transit is playing out for Moon and Taurus. The internal 4th house to Aquarius values that manifest the nature of who you are is getting ready to ground with the conjunction of Mars and Uranus, this innovative evolution. Mars is literally squaring Jupiter of not only your physiology, but your mind. You've already awakened superpowers. Well, how do you ground this hardware into your psyche so that you can upload the software and put on the applications? We're in the fixed nature of this. Once we go mutable, that's applications, that's experience. So outside of that, Mercury is still moving forward in Aquarius. May I remind you that detachment is very necessary to examine the purity of your emotions. And so, like I said earlier, many of you are dealing with adults with the mind of children, and you're battling with wounded aspects of people or puppets to dark forces, usually both. And you're not arguing, I'm not even gonna use the words arguing. You're clashing with wounded parts of people who project those wounds on you. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but it's hilarious, me. It's people getting triggered out here, son. People getting triggered out here. Is it the deaths? Even though people die every year, is it the deception? Even though people lie every year, like, people getting triggered out here. It's the narratives. That's what it is. It's the narratives. And now that Saturn and Jupiter has birthed a new narrative, all I want to remind you is this. March 21st, 2020 was a very, very fateful day. 1 degree Aries. It brought in the spark, 1 degree Aries, of the apocalypse. If the apocalypse was a lighter that sparked a blunt, 1 degree Aries was sparking that motherfucking lighter. And the apocalypse started. Don't worry, that was the Saturn Cap cardinal action. Now we're in the Saturn Aqua manifestation. This is the mass extinction event tour before Saturn and Pisces. So everyone born 95, 94, they were literally destined by karma to assist humanity during this period. You know, Pluto, Scorpio, Saturn, Pisces. It's not a coincidence that Saturn moves into Aries to create a new karmic cycle after Pluto moves into Sagittarius, 95, 96, to start a new generation. Some of y'all have children who gonna burn the whole world down because they're meant to. Ooh, and they coming of age. Damn. Well, it's nice knowing you. It's amazing how I can say stuff like this and people will say, oh, you're evoking fear, you're inciting riots, when everything that I said is not even a bad thing. This is actually an amazing thing, subjectively, but still. I'm throwing around radical concepts because the moon transiting Uranus is going to bring this radical sense of yourself within you. And there's going to be the urge to suppress it with Aquarius and this conformist need to be cool and fit in. When Chiron is in Aries is urging you to say, hey, you can suck my dick. And only once you at least even offer to suck my crusty dick, ladies, tell them to suck your crusty dick too, then maybe we could be friends. Is that vulgar? Is that extreme? Well, it's squaring Pluto. Is that too much? Good. Some of y'all are still chained and shackled by societal perception and acceptance, and there's no one to blame for that. If you find that undermining you, this is your chance, because the moon's not going to be in Taurus forever. This is your chance to fully grasp and harness the depth of foundational understanding of your abilities, but really you, and really the values that hold who you are. Because once the moon goes into Scorpio, this is now purified at an extent that you'll come into a full knowledge of this with the new moon. So there's really nothing you have to do because you did it during the cardinal season. You are manifesting this knowledge, and this is where things not only get sci-fi and supernatural and sci-fi, but this is where you have a foundation to take off. Technically though, many of you are going to get abducted, and definitely by aliens, extraterrestrials, in the form of frequencies. So you'll just have a thought and be abducted and be taken away. But or you may be physically abducted. Hopefully you don't get kidnapped or trafficked. But yeah, the spaceship is landing, and in this info war of perceptions where you're dealing with covert agents, it's more important to tap into who you are. That'll help you recognize who everyone else is. Stay blessed.